Welcome back, folks. Me, Phil Terrell. We're going to be playing Sonic C, and I'll catch you back after this cutscene. Okay, so we're back. That was Amy Rose, a new character that was introduced in Sonic CD, um, and she'll be following around Sonic in future games, much to his displeasure. But talking about Sonic CD has two different soundtracks: a U.S. soundtrack and a Japanese soundtrack. And depending on the version of the game you played originally, DJ Robotnik would play the U.S. soundtrack if you played the U.S. version of the game, or European and Japanese markets got the Japanese soundtrack, which both are fantastic soundtracks. I like both very much. I'm gonna start the U.S. soundtrack because I love the opening to this old opening in Sonic CD, Sonic Boom. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk through the opening. Sonic CD's plot is pretty simple. Robonik has come to this lake to capture the little planet, which little planet shows up on this lake side once every so often, or every so long often, whichever, I forget how many years it is. But Robotnik has decided to chain the little planet to a mountain that has his face on it. And, you gotta love a guy that has his face plastered on a mountainside. And the little planet also has a plot MacGuffin, or I should say plot MacGuffin is called the Time Stones, because this little planet has stones that are kind of similar to the Chaos Emeralds, but different. They are time stones that control time, and Robotnik wants to control time, and so that's why he's come to the little planet. And I'm sure I've missed some stuff there, or I've maybe unintentionally altered stuff in my memory, but that is the little planet right there. It's not green and lush and beautiful like it was in Amy's cutscene, because Robotnik's already came there and set up shop, turned everything to a metallic madness little planet. I just made that pun up on top of my head just now. But Palm Tree Panic will be the first act of Sonic CD, and it's very much the Green Hill Zone of Sonic CD, where it's green, it's hilly, it's very speedy, and you're getting used to Sonic. And Sonic has a new mechanic here, the figure 8, the super peel out, where if you hold up and push jump, Sonic will stand in place and then just start speeding in place like a peel out, and then you let go like this, and then you'll go really quickly. It's not like the spin dash where you can take enemies out when you run into them, but I will talk about the time mechanic, the time travel mechanic in the next act. But you want to go into the past as how to time travel in the next part, but you want to go into the past in every one of these acts if you want to get the good ending. And if you don't want to get the good ending, then so be it. You can just go ahead and play it as B. I mean, I do that nowadays as well, but I also try to get the good ending every so often, because there's a plot reason why you want to go into the past, and you want to destroy the roboticizers in the past of each one of these acts, unless you get all the time stones. If you get all the time stones, then everything's hunky-dory. You don't need to go to the past anymore. But you want to destroy the roboticizers. That's what I call them. I think they're called teleporters or something like that, but I like to call them roboticizers. But you go in there and you destroy all the roboticizers, and all the enemies will be destroyed. And then you need to do this again in the second act to guarantee a good future in Palm Tree Panic in our case right now. I went in time travel back to the present because I want to show off Amy and Palm Tree Panic that she followed us all the way to the little planet. She's like, "Oh, my hero, I love you," and all that good stuff. And Sonic's like, "No, don't get attached to me." But she's going to play a pretty important part in why Sonic's going to continue his adventure in the little planet. So get 50 rings and jump into the giant ring at the end of the act, very much like Sonic 1, where you get a chance to get one of the time stones. aka not the Chaos Emeralds. And the special zones are some of my favorite in Sonic CD. I just like the uniqueness of it. Um, so you're in this pseudo 3D um, area, and you need to destroy 6 UFOs. I think it's 6 for every single special zone, but you want to destroy them in a very quick manner because, for one thing, you're on a time limit. If you run out of time, you'll get launched out of the special zone, and you gotta redo it again by getting another 50 rings in another zone. And I personally like to take them out as soon as possible. You should, but that way you don't have to worry about finding the roboticizers. Because you could also get the good ending. I believe, I could be wrong. Someone can correct me in the comment section. But if you destroy all the roboticizers, you guarantee a good ending if you do it in every single act. I don't think the Metal Sonic holographic projectors have anything to do with that. I could be wrong. I reserve the right to be wrong on that. But generally, I just get all the time stones and boom, I got the good ending. And that's what I normally do to get the good ending. But between acts, except for Act 3, I'm going to change the soundtrack to all the other soundtracks. So this is the Japanese soundtrack for Palm Tree Panic. And I love the Japanese soundtrack of Palm Tree Panic. I don't know what it is about it. It might just be the people in the background going, yay! But I really do like the Japanese soundtrack of Palm Tree Panic. But enough of that. Let me explain the time travel mechanic now. So the time travel mechanic, you have 2 different types of signposts other than the checkpoint one. You have a past and a future. And for you to time travel, you need to hit one of those poles or posts, and then you need to get enough speed and maintain that speed long enough for Sonic to time travel. I don't remember the exact number of seconds you gotta do it, but you need to maintain that speed and not be interrupted. And then Sonic will speed through time and space and go into the past if you have the past signpost, or the future if you have the future signpost. Now, generally, I will not pick up the future signpost unless I'm just doing a whatever run, because there's nothing to do in the future other than just to see what it looks like, if you have a good or bad future. But unless you destroy a roboticizer, it's generally going to be a bad future unless you have all the time stones. If you have all the time stones, every future is going to be a good future. So we destroyed our second roboticizer there, and for the sake of this playthrough, I'm also going to find all the Sonic holographic projectors, which is that one right there. And in the case of those projectors, Metal Sonic will, I'd like to say torture, but he's just being a giant bully to the animals here. And if you destroy those, then you will get you'll free all the animals. The animals will want to come out and play. But as you see there, it says Sonic made a good feature in Zone 2. And that's because we destroy the roboticizer. And so we're going to go to the second special stage. And I like the special stage from the Japanese soundtrack a little bit more than the American one. So, and then talking about the special stages now is you don't want to go into the water if at all possible. I mean, if you have to go in the water, then so be it, because you didn't take a tight enough turn, or you jump too late. If you jump into the water, you lose 10 seconds off your time. If you jump onto the chomping blocks on the ground, you won't necessarily lose 10 seconds, but Sonic will fall down, lose rings, and you'll lose a little bit of time that way. But it doesn't chop off 10 seconds off your time right away. And you got arrows that will cause Sonic to speed off in that direction. You have springs that honestly I try to avoid because I don't want landing in water. And you have the fan blocks that will launch Sonic in the air, and you have quite a bit of control. And Sonic will be at the level of the UFOs, so it's really easy to guide him into the UFOs and break him that way. But with that, we got 2 time stones, and I do call these gushers. But since we got 2 good futures in Act 1 and Act 2, then we are guaranteed the good future in Act 3. In Act 3, there are no enemies unless you have the bad future, I think. And really, you want to get through and just get through here as quickly as possible, especially in time trial mode. I mean, you don't really have to, but why not? The boss fight for Robonik, this one's ridiculously easy if you get the invincibility. You rush here, just jump and hit him in the back 3 times, and then boom, he's done. And sometimes there's some cosmetic differences. You have the bad feature, and Robotnik has this classic like red and black look on that mech, but he has pink on this case. But in the bad features, a lot of the flora is just rotting and dead, and the water is not blue, it's like gray, like it's polluted and everything. But this is Collision Chaos, and believe it or not, this is the first level that I was introduced to in Sonic CD, because I didn't play Sonic CD on the Sega CD or the PC for very long. I was introduced to this by my cousin, and this is what I started with, and I was utterly confused by Sonic CD back in the day. But as you saw there, Amy got abducted by Metal Sonic, so now we have a reason why we need to continue our journey other than stopping Robotnik. That is to rescue Amy from Metal Sonic and Robotnik. So we need to go and do that. And I think in the U.S. version, I think in the handbook, if I remember right, it's not Amy Rose in the American instruction booklet. It's actually Princess Sally from the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon way back when. But I won't talk about that. But we want to get that past signpost. Go up here, jump in this spring, and then get into this little half pipe area. And just let the springs just keep speeding Sonic along, so that way we can time travel into the past. And then we're gonna go through here, go let the springs guide us out, and we're gonna go left. There'll be a red spring here that will launch us, and we can jump to the left, destroy the roboticizer, and we guaranteed ourselves a good future in the first act of Collision Chaos. And then we are going to try to find the Metal Sonic holographic projector, destroy that so that the animals can frolic and be free and not have to worry about being bullied by Metal Sonic. And here it is. Destroy it, continue on, and then now we can finish the level. Just keep 50 rings, that way we can get to the special stage with its time stone. And if you decide to go into the future with the roboticizer, I probably already mentioned this, you will see the good future of Collision Chaos, which is blue, and it's like sky blue everywhere instead of it being like this maroon waterish. That it's like a sunset, which I do like. With that, we get a good future in Zone 1, and we continue into the special zone, special act, special stage 3. And I like to think this is like a future version of Tidal Tempest in Sonic CD. Each of the special zones has a theme to it in the background. I really do like that aesthetic. It's very unique compared to what Sonic 1 special stages were. It's the same background in all the special stages. Different layout, but different, same background. So I do really like that. Sonic CD did a lot of change-ups with the pixel art, considering it was on a CD-ROM. And it is quite the eye candy for someone that grew up with this, that grew up with Sega Genesis only games. So with that, we destroy all the UFOs, and now we get the lemon flavored gusher. That is pretty awesome. And I believe there are 7 time stones. It's not 6 Chaos Emeralds like in Sonic 1. There are 7 time stones, I believe, in Sonic CD. So now we're going to continue on to Collision Chaos Act 2, and we're going to use the American soundtrack. And Collision Chaos, actually the US version of this track is my preferred version. I kind of like the doom and gloom feel of it, because at the very beginning of this track is playing, you see Amy abducted, and it kind of sets the mood for the rest of the journey. Like, you kind of need to go and rescue Amy. So I do like that about it. So that's actually where I should have went, but I decided to go up because I'm thinking, oh, this is the way I need to go. But no, it's not. Once I see that signpost and the future signpost, I'm like, oh, I went the wrong way. I need to go the other way to go down there to time travel. And then come out really close to the roboticizer. The roboticizers for Collision Chaos are always at the very beginning of the level. So that's very nice. So I need to be very careful since I touched that future signpost. I don't want to accidentally time travel into the future. And what I need is down there, and I'm trying to go down there, but I'm falling too fast and I can't go with that little gap right there. So what we need to do is to slow down somehow, and we're going to use those bubbles up top to slow down just a little bit. So we're going to go down here and not time travel. We got the past signpost, so now we can time travel. This is where I like to time travel into the past. You can actually hit a spring a little bit to the left of this one, go up, and you'll be in a half pipe. And you can time travel there, which honestly, I'm going to go there anyway. So I I probably should break that habit and go here, but I've always time traveled in that one spot. So go to the right here, and then go up this hill, continue right, and then you'll get the roboticizer right here. So take that out, we have a good future, but now we need to find Metal Sonic because I want to show where Metal Sonic is, and we want to go up here to that second tier, I believe. I think it's the second tier. Or is it the first? No, it's this way. So continue on this way, and then we're going to go up here. Actually, no, it's the very bottom one. I'm mistaken. All the way down to the bottom. So we're going to go all the way back here. Drop down to the bottom here. And then we're carefully not losing any rings, because again, we need to get 50 to go to the special. Go up here. Continue through here. Just keep running through here. Don't stop, or else you'll hit those springs and go to the spikes. And then we'll stay on the bottom here because it's a little bit faster. I'll be extremely paranoid about spikes coming out of the ground here. So keep going, and just navigate through all these springs. It's not nearly as bad as Wacky Workbench, but it's still pretty annoying in my opinion. And Wacky Workbench, spoiler alert, is my least favorite zone in Sonic City, which I imagine is a lot of people's. But Miss Phil Too Real loves Wacky Workbench. Oh jeez. But we're gonna get our 4th time stone, and we're gonna continue on here. So the 4th time stone stage reminds me very much of Chrono Trigger, specifically the Dark Ages and the Kingdom of Zeal floating in the background there. So maybe this level is a sign of a potential crossover that Squaresoft and Sega wanted to do but never happened. But I digress. There's a lot of water here. Not nearly as much I find as the previous special stage, because this previous one was literally, it was Water World. Let's be honest, it was a Water World level, and I'm not doing myself any favors by running into the water. But like Sonic 1 in the Origins collection, if you run out of time, you can trade in one of your coins to restart the special zone. So there's that. So that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna mess up, I think, on special zone 6, I think. So I'll be using that, unfortunately, but I'm gonna show it because I'm not afraid to show my failures. But if you, I almost messed up right there royally. But if you run out really low on time, a blue UFO with red stripes will appear in the middle of the stage, and it will go really slow to give you an opportunity to hit it. And that UFO doesn't count towards your total, but it does give you extra time to go and get the other UFOs. So when that happens, I would suggest seek it out. And we got the purple, we got the blueberry gusher, and yeah, so hit that UFO to buy yourself some more time, so that way you can get the other UFOs, and it will continuously respawn, so it's not ever going to stop, to my knowledge. But with that, we got the 4th time stone, and we will go into Act 3 of Collision Chaos, which this boss fight could be really short or very quick. And something you're going to notice with the Robonik boss fights is they're not traditional Sonic boss fights where he just moves around and then you hit him 8 times and all that. These boss fights tend to have some kind of gimmick to them. I would say the boss fights with, Palm Tree Panic and Metallic Madness, and to a lesser extent, Wacky Workbench in a way. But I mean, if you do this really quickly, you can beat this boss fight in less than like 20 seconds if you're really quick. Maybe 30 seconds. Maybe 30 seconds is what I'm thinking about. But, and which helps in the time trial thing if you're trying to get to a certain time in time trial. Or it's my my inner paranoia with pinball machines is coming out here. I don't like pinball, which is even sadder because Sonic Spinball is a pretty interesting game, but I don't really like it either. But with that, we're done with Act 3 of Collision Chaos, and the whole point is to get on top and hit Robonik 3 times. So I didn't talk too much about that, but I apologize. But that's the end of this part. I'll catch you in the second part later, and bye, guys.